Corey, we're getting ready for the Hot 100 Business Acceleration course, and people are getting excited because we've been able to get really good results with our clients. And this next one is a business software company.
You know, results are never guaranteed on anything, but it's about implementing and knowing what to implement and doing it faster. And these are two examples of some, I mean, you have to say they're exceptional in certainly many ways. The business services client was a software business, been in business for like 11 years, was ready to get out, sell the business, and he came across us in the best practices, and we challenged him to build a business that if nothing else he could sell for a lot more. Result was he increased his business so substantially that he actually got an offer to buy the like a third of the business for $20 million.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an amazing thing. He since has decided he didn't want to sell, kept the business, and has grown it significantly, and now spends quite a bit of time worrying about his properties in Southern California, Mexico, and other areas. But you know, successful businesses create opportunities not just for owners, but for the employees as well, and for the committed staff and members of the business. But it also provides a wonderful inspired service for the clients, because they're able to get something that is substantial, sustainable, and is going to be around to serve them long term.
So everybody wins.
It really is a win-win-win situation. The only one who loses is competition.
That happens.
Yeah, that happens. So it might as well be them instead of you.
Yeah, it's always it's going to be you or them.
Yeah. So the other one is a rather unique situation. A young man that came to me who was referred by another client, and he said, "I want to start a business." And this was back in the late '90s when you know, things were kind of crazy. And he said, "I want to start a web service, a web portal that I get paid by advertising." And I said, "Oh, okay. What are you thinking of?" He says, "Youth hostels." So I just spent 4 months in a youth hostel in South America, and I want to do that. And I'm thinking, you know, advertising-based web portal for people who don't want to spend money.
Not a good idea.
Well, it might have been, and someday it is. I'm sure somebody will make a big deal of it. But at the time, we said, let's focus on what you do well, which in his case was build games. He was 23 at the time, so you know, young guy. First project netted him about $40,000 first year. Second project, which was really based on more, it's now called casual games, but became one of the biggest in the country. And the result is second year revenues were $600,000, and third year revenues were $6 million.
Wow.
They just recently released the statistics on this. This one game has now grossed $300 million in revenues, and they're expanding internationally. Who knows? Maybe someday there'll be a public opportunity for someone to buy stock.
So, but in terms of the role of implementing best practices for all of these success stories,
you know, best practices really are about accelerating the development of your business to what it can become now instead of what it might be over a 20-year period of time. So it's fundamentally, how do we accelerate the growth, and not in such a way that causes cash flow problems and all those sort of things, but it's how do we accelerate the growth of the business so that it's able to get the resources it needs, get the staff that it needs, and able to meet the needs of its customers, its employees, and the ownership.
Well, the Hot 100 has over 300 best practices in 7 areas of the business.
Yep.
So areas like ownership, management, productivity, accounting, you know, these areas are really they're fundamental to the business. So these aren't flashy. I mean, these best practices aren't.
Yeah, but there's surprises. There's some surprises. So some things that maybe aren't as obvious as most people think. But the real issue is, and we'll go into this in the course, is how to come out with a business that's what you always wanted it to be, but do it now instead of later.
Very good. Thanks.
I'm looking forward to teaching that with you, Kirk.
Yeah,
it's going to be really a lot of fun.
It's going to be fun. It's fun telling people in advance about this.
All right.
Thanks.